Hello and welcome. So in this video I'm going to discuss about the rule number 7 of the Colregs, that is risk of collision. So in the part A we can see that it is saying that every vessel shall use all available means appropriate to the prevailing circumstances and conditions. So what are these available means? So you can use radar plotting, you can take constant bearing of the target, you can use, in the modern ships we have automatic radar plotting aid, and you can see the CPA and the TCPA to determine if the risk of collision exists. So how you can determine by using all these available means that risk of collision exists or not? So if the bearing remains constant and range is decreasing, then risk of collision exists. And by seeing the closest point of approach, you can directly know that if risk of collision exists or not. So after using all these available means, if the OW is in doubt or he is unable to determine the risk of collision after using all these means, then he should not be in doubt and he should consider it as a risk and act accordingly or alter the course taking the target as a risk. So never be in doubt when you are taking action. Part B of rule 7, what it states that the proper use shall be made of radar equipment if fitted and operational. So if the radar equipment is fitted and it is operational, you should use it properly. So how you can use it properly? You can use the long range scanning to obtain early warnings of the risk of collision, and by doing radar plotting or equivalent systematic observation of detected object. So you can do radar plotting by manually or automatically. So long range scanning to obtain early warning of risk of collision. So you should use low radar range for closer and smaller targets. So basically what this part of the rule says that you need to keep change the radar ranges to get a better understanding about the surrounding or the nearby vessel. Now part C of this rule number 7. So assumptions shall not be made on the basis of scanty informations, especially scanty radar information. Like we all know that little knowledge is a dangerous thing. Likewise, little information may lead to danger. So you must be aware about everything about radar, so you can able to differentiate what is scanty radar information means. And you must be aware about the blind sectors of the radar fitted on board your ship, and you must be knowing that what is the difference between X-band radar and the S-band radar. Let's see what is the D part of this rule saying. In determining if risk of collision exists, following considerations shall be among taken into account. So we will see what are these considerations. So there are two considerations which are written in this rule. We will see it. Such risk shall be deemed to exist if compass bearing of an approaching vessel does not change appreciably. So we have talked about it earlier that if the bearing does not change or it remains constant but the range is constantly decreasing, then there is a risk of collision. So now what is the second part of this rule? That such risk may sometime exist even when an appreciable change in the bearing is evident. So even if there is a change in bearing there, in two cases we should consider that risk of collision may exist. So what are these two cases? So when you are approaching a very large vessel, or a tow or in second case, or when vessel is at close range. So even if the bearing is changes, you should consider these two cases to see if risk of collision exists or not. So what are these two cases? When approaching very large vessel and when the vessel is at very close range. So this much is important from the topic of risk of collision, that is rule 7 of the ROR. So hope you have liked it. Thank you.